Morning, guys. Mark Ferrasci, Foot Tech Dog Training, and BigBoy, who is pretty good about coming out and going to the bathroom first thing. We already took him out, but put him back in his kennel for a little bit. Good boy. Good. Yeah, ha, ha, ha. Good boy. Yeah. Good. Good. Yes. Good boy. Good. All right. So, good boy. Good. Yeah. By now, hopefully, you're getting the idea that this stuff takes hours and hours of work, guys. It's all putting the pieces together, and I have my own way of doing that with a lot of environment and a lot less of the bite work and a lot less of what I need to float my boat in that regards, because this is the most important thing with breeds like this. Yep, the bite work is all stimulated real easy. It's not something that's hard, couché, especially if you've got the genetic package, right? It's going to happen as we build it. But this is really what's the most important base for is people, places, things, the work you see me doing out in public. Yep, right now his tendency is to be overly friendly and precocious, which will stop with the downstays because he's required to stay down instead of going and greeting people, right? So that's the neutral. People will walk by him, and he'll get so used to having people walk by in the flood. When we get into some of the other areas, we start to build into Bass Pro and some other heavy foot trap areas on the weekends and stuff. That's really what does it. It settles the dog down dramatically. He doesn't get excited with people anymore because these people are just so blasé. There's so much coming at him. Yep. And they were always hoping for a really good average. And one morning I went to Bass Pro, and I was there right before they opened up. A huge crowd of people at the front door all waiting to get into the Bass Pro. Great place to put the dog on a downstay with people right around him. All right. Up. So, couché. Good. It's all about balance, yin and yang. I come back to that all the time, right? Balance in training and how you put it together. Good. Good boy. Good. All right, so we're setting some main ideas in the dog. One of them is distractions. Nope, nope, nope. And that was a little heavier over the top for him to handle, right? Because of the explosion release that adds up to it. Couché. Good. Good. Big boy? Yep. Good boy, good. Yeah, go, good boy, good. Notice my voice hitting him right at the right spot, telling him that was the right answer, right? A lot of it comes back to that. Positive and negative. Nope. Good. Telling the dog what the right answer is, showing the dog what the right answer is. Now, I have the young lady that's getting this dog that actually at this point she's paying me for training. So that being the case, she was yes, good, yes. Making a comment yesterday. I just did a brain blank. Sorry about that, guys. It's early in the morning. Couché. Good. Good. I'll come back to it when I least expect it, if I can recover from the brain blank. That's all part of getting old, but half of it's because I'm in the fog right now, just getting up at 6:37 in the morning. Good. Now, if you watch long enough, you start to see these main themes, right? Themes, philosophies, things that I'm tying together that are more solid than others. One of those is the downstay. Greeting into people is something that's important, but the balance, back to the yin and yang, how I build in neutrality. A lot of law enforcement and things, they don't believe in having the dog petted at all. The public should just be there and be a mundane object in their environment. And that's all well and good, but we're talking civilian. We're talking the dog that's got to be dealing with civilians in that regard. They don't really want them to go in and be greeting people to a point of quiet. No, quiet. Good, quiet. Good. Opportunity to teach them. Good. Quiet, good, quiet. To catch that whining, to try to accent that so I can use it for later. Nope. Hey, oh, that's what she was talking to me about. I came back to my brain blank. He was smelling this little hot dog way behind him. He's got a nose like a son of a gun. Good. Couché. Did it again, damn it. It's my morning for brain blanks, guys. I just had it on my mind, and I got distracted, and it went somewhere else. It'll come back to me because I know I got it now. Yep. Good. Good. Yes. Good. Yes. Yes. Good boy. We got to keep building up on time intervals and really work on the leaking aspect of things, because he's going to be a leaker if we don't get centered on it now and understand it and make sure we direct him away from that. Take that clay and mold it and shape it away from that propensity. Yes, which is basically excitement, right? That's all leaking is. Yes, is excitement. But see, people don't catch it early enough and they're not aware of it, so they don't mold and shape away from it, and it becomes a problem, and then it's too late, because once something like that gets going, you're really hurting. Good. Couche. Good. Good. Nope. Nope. Oh, that was it. Came back to it again. She mentioned and she noticed me doing the corrections from the body, where I'm pinching on the body and I'm making little irritants and I'm creating a negative correction with the body correction with pinching the body. Well, that comes from a long time ago, years ago, when I learned it. When you take a dog into off-leash training, you usually use a leash for the first 6-8 months, whatever time you're working the dog, and then you start phasing into off-leash work. Well, when you do that, you start teaching the dog you still having a way to correct him. So you'll do it right about turning, you'll pinch, okay? And you'll redirect the dog back in your way. So that's where that little trick comes from, is using a body correction and using couche, your ability to pinch. And notice I'm always talking about it going underneath the dog's body, because I don't want to come with any force over the top of the dog's body, because their head is very sensitive, especially at certain ages of their lives. I think I go back to this, I've said it before, where I have a feeling that my theory anyway, because it is nothing but a theory, we don't know, the dogs can't talk, is that the behavior from a young animal being fearful and God giving you that fear state of mind, nope, at a very young age, is there because of birds of prey and other things they need to be protected, so they're going to hide. They're going to go up underneath things. They have a lot of apprehension and fear tendencies towards things that are coming at them over their head, which again, birds of prey, right? So Mother Nature gives them what they need, because they can't fight. They can only flight and they can hide, right? And that's the only thing they really could do at a very young age. So Mother Nature gives them what they need to protect themselves from predation. Predation? What is the word? I don't know. Good. So back to that body correction. That's where that little pinching and irritation comes from. And notice I'm trying to go underneath the dog's body and have a presence that's underneath versus over the top, right? You are a human being. You have a tendency to have certain emotional reactions in the way you do things that affect the animal. And that's a lot of what we do when we work with customers, is trying to teach them to not humanize their dogs and to be more cognizant and aware of what their instincts and their reactions in regards to dealing with the dog is all about. Nope. Good. So we do things in a certain way because of our psychological makeup and who we are as human psychology, right? We're not dogs. So the dogs are in dog psychology and they're a totally different animal. We have to respect that and always be aware of it. So a lot of what I'm talking about is things I've learned over the years in what the nature of a dog is all about, and their wiring, that inner core of the dog. So I will do things with my voice tone and my mannerisms and everything else that relate to having the best, good, effect on the dog, to be able to teach and have them learn and grow with my behavior affecting theirs, whether you realize it or not. Our behavior and how we act is a big problem, and that's a lot of the problem. And when we educate our customers, trying to get them to understand it, but we're all human, so we always have to fight that, right? One of those things is what I call trying to write a book. You're always getting frustrated and upset. You want to, dogs don't understand that. That's emotional puking. And emotional puking to a dog is something that is detrimental. It's a negative thing, right? And so that's our human nature. We always want to spank. We always want to come at things real hard in such a way that it basically stunts the dog's growth towards strength. And again, you're always hearing me talk about it. My goal is to build the strongest dog I possibly can, mentally and physically, right? They're stable. They're secure with themselves. They're confident, right? That's what we want in a dog. And so how we treat them and what we do as a human and our human psychology and how we come at them is critical. Couche. So if nothing else you take away from my videos, try to learn a little bit about that. Yep. Good. Good. All right, we're going to go the opposite way because this is the way that's going to be less of a dominant side. You remember what we were talking about? Dominance is going to be the one that flips into my left side, into my heel for my quarter turns, because this is going to be where he lives. It's on my left-hand side. Now, I'll tell you a story, give you something to learn and to grow with. One of my stories that I tell to my customers when I give classes, good, is where do some of these things come from? Why does the dog heel on the left? Why is the dog on the left-hand side? Right? It comes back from the old Western days. I see, when we had dirt roads and we didn't have pavement and we had mud puddles, and the chivalry from the man was always the one that was on the outside, so that if the mud got splashed off of the road, he was on the lady's left, right? And his job was to catch the mud. Well, the dog's job is to catch the mud before I do, so he's on my left side. Also, our dominant hand is normally the right hand, and so when you got the gunfighting days of old, the right hand being freed up was important. So how you held and where your weapon was at, usually on the right-hand side, is important because that's your strong dominant hand, right? And the dog being on your left is not going to be in conflict with that draw pattern and being able to come up with your gun hand, right? That's why they're on the left, okay? Because it goes back to etiquette. It goes back to the old days. Yeah. Whoosh. All right, good boy, good. I'm losing concentration of him, and obviously you can see the effect. When I'm not in tune with the animal, I'm sitting here yakking at you. You can see that he's affected by that, right? Good. Yes. Good. 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 Oh, yeah. Yes. Good. Couche. Good. I think he's got that wired, huh? You got that wired, son, do you? Good boy. All right, guys. Enough yakking at the screen. Getting up, having brain blanks, being half cloudy. I haven't got my coffee in me or nothing. I just get straight out of bed and come out here, get my hot dogs ready, and 6:30, and right away I got to be cleaning kennels and go over there and take care of puppies and start my day. It's my first morning time is spent with a lot of workload for the first 3 or 4 hours, huh? Yeah. Getting dogs fed and cleaned and all the stuff that you got to do. Good boy, good. Yeah. Are you ready? Ready? Are you? Are you ready? Ready? Good boy. All right. Get rid of the food. Ready is a key word. Yeah. Good boy, good. Yeah, good boy. I see. Couche. Yes, good boy, good. There you go. Good. Into that crescendo. The first excitement stage is always the best. Come on. Good boy, good. Good. And here comes the toy, so everybody gets all excited. Yeah, I see you. Yeah. All right, out. Yes, good boy, good. Yeah, good boy, good. Out. Yes, good boy, good. Yeah, good boy, good. Yeah, good boy, good. Sit 2 or 3 times and then into the next one, right? Out. I see. Nope. Come on. I see. Nope. He's in this testing stage where he's wanting to. Good. Couche. Nope. Couche. No. Yes. Good boy. Good. There you go. So my goal is to try to get to a point where he understands what's getting him that reward. And then we'll work on speed and a bunch of other things that go along in building it and putting it together so we get it real fast down. Huh? Yeah, good boy, good, yeah. All right, good boy, good. Into the pouch for food, out. Good. Are you hungry? Done. We're done. You hungry? You go get something to eat? Come on, off. Good, off, no. Yeah, no. Testing, huh? Yeah. Pinch of the paws is all it takes. Right away when he's on the ground, praise him. It's just done and over with. There's no reason for any emotional puking from me, getting upset, none of it. It's just matter of fact, done and over with, right? Real important. No. Good. That's good. Nope. Good. That's my boy. You get a little bit of the zoomies, huh? Get a little bit of the zoomies, huh? Yeah, I see you. All right, let's go get something to eat. You come on, little brat. All right, talk to you guys later. On Fresh Protect Dog Training and Big Boy.